What's going on, guys? It's Kingman. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm showing you all of the best working glitches in Black Ops 6. I'm showing you Warzone glitches on Verdansk. I'll be showing you normal spots and also working methods to this day. There will be some old footage in here, but I've sectioned off the video so you'll know where you are in the video. But yeah, I do hope you enjoy the video and stick around. So to do this, you want to make sure you have this score streak here, which is called the Archangel launcher. So this is actually going to play a big role in today's video. And you also want to make sure you have this perk 3 on, which is called Gearhead. This is pretty much going to give you 2 field upgrades. And the field upgrades we're going to be using today is a tactical insurgent. So let's actually jump into the actual method. So for the first example, we're on Hacienda. You want to place down your first tactical insurgent like this. You want to pull out your Archangel, run outside of the map, and you pretty much want to shoot it and pretty much kill you. And you'll then get this warning saying waiting to respawn. And this will give you extra seconds to pretty much run exactly to this area here where you can place another tactical insurgent. This is what you need Gearhead for, and you can then pretty much place it in the non-timer area, and you'll then spawn outside of the map, which is absolutely crazy. You can then see where the vault is, which is awesome, and you can also drop underneath the map like this and fully explore. You can fully roam around the map, which is crazy. So we're now on Skyline. This one's very easy. I recommend probably doing this one first to try it out. What you want to do is place the first tactical insurgent. You want to shoot yourself, quickly run off, and then quickly place your second tactical insurgent down, and you'll then spawn on the second tactical insurgent out of the map. So you're pretty much bypassing the death barrier which is above you. But if you do want to actually go inside the building, just open these doors here, and you can then actually just drop down and then pretty much shoot up. So yeah, this will work online, which is game breaking. They will probably patch this fast. So we're now on Scud. Here is a crazy out of map. Place your first tactical insurgent down. This one's quite hard to do, but I recommend practicing it. You want to run out with your Archangel, pretty much shoot it against the wall like this, and you want to run, make sure you press triangle to get rid of the Archangel because it can slow you down. And you then want to place the second tactical insurgent on this rock, and if you do time it correctly, you'll then be in a non-timer area outside of the map on Scud. And here is actually how to get underneath the map on Scud, which is awesome. Go to this area here. You then just want to wait for your timer to reset, and you can then pretty much run over here, prone again, and you're then under the map on Scud, which is absolutely insane. Easy under the map glitch on Verdansk using the vehicle. But yeah, big credit to Crazy Pizza Roll for actually letting me use this footage and also helping me, because I did put a message on Discord asking for help, and he did actually reach out first, so big credit to him. So here's his YouTube on the screen, and also I'll link it down in the description. So yeah, he was actually in today's video. As you see, you'll see it in the gameplay, he did actually help me out a lot. Other than that, let's actually jump into today's video. So to do this glitch, you're going to need the big truck and also the Polaris, and you want to make your way to my location with these 2 vehicles. So yeah, this is actually a duo method, and I'll explain why later on in the video, because pretty much the solo way is a bit too difficult and it's all about timing, but the duo way, it just makes sense. You'll see why in a minute. So let's actually jump into how to do it. So for this example, I did use the big truck and I did breach my friend in. As you see, he's in the Polaroid. You pretty much want to drive from the blue barrel, and you pretty much want to drive it up the wall until it pretty much goes through the gap and then lands on top of the Polaroid. And as you'll notice, it will then start to dip under the floor as you see the wheels, but it's not actually fully breached yet. All you want to do is pretty much just keep on moving the truck until you're fully on top. But obviously there is much more you have to do with this method. So pretty much most of the time when you're in the Polaroid, if you're being breached under, you want to be in the passenger seat, but sometimes you may have to go in the driver's seat. What pretty much happens here is the POV. The truck will actually go invisible for the Polaroid, and you can pretty much drive the Polaroid freely. As you see, he will eventually switch to the driver's seat, and as you see, it will be completely invisible. The truck will be invisible for it, and you want to pretty much get the roof of the Polaroid directly underneath the truck, and then eventually, while the truck driver is moving it back and forward, you will then eventually breach. And then once you're under, you can then switch to the driver's seat again, and you can then fully drive the Polaroid under the map. But yeah, here is actually another example of me doing the glitch myself. As you see, I was in the passenger seat, and then here's actually a different angle. As you see, I drive the Polaroid, because sometimes it does go fake, the truck and the Polaroid. You can drive the Polaroid into the truck, but you want to drive the Polaroid directly underneath like the fuel tank area. As you see that big rectangle thing in front of me, you want to pretty much put that underneath there as much as possible. And you then just want to get your friend to drive forward and backwards, and then you will breach under eventually. Unfortunately, mine did explode, so I didn't get to drive the thing underneath the map, but luckily my friend actually let me use his footage, so I can show you a cool footage of him driving underneath the map. But yeah, once you're under here, you're free to explore, but I'm not too sure how to get out, but obviously is absolutely huge down here, and you're literally, yeah, it's crazy. You can see people and everything. Now on firing range, here's a really cool infected spot or a high spot that people can't really see you in if they walk at a certain angle. So I recommend having tap to dive on, as you see here. You then just want to do a dolphin dive exactly where I do from, and then you can then land on this area here. And if you then go prone and then turn around, you can then pretty much shoot below you, and people don't expect you to be up here because it's quite a high spot. You can also do this on the other side as well, which is pretty cool. So it's totally up to you what angle you want to do it at. But yeah, it's a pretty cool spot, and I thought to show it in today's video. On Skyline, here's a really cool ledge you can just chill on. If you just run and jump and then land up here, you can then walk across this ledge. This guy literally next to me, he was like, how do I do this? And he just started jumping at the wall like this. Now moving on to the next glitch on Skyline, here's a really cool ledge as well on Skyline. If you just stand on this railing here and just dolphin dive up here, turn around, and you can then look at the enemies if you like, or you can just chill up here and try and get a victory. So here's a pretty cool ledge on Grind where you can pretty much just stand on these speakers. If you just do a run off the ramp and jump, and you can then land on these areas here. And you can then prone up here if you like, or you can just walk around as long as you're on here. Just be careful because there is a bounce barrier on it. Actually, here's another cool spot as well. You can hide on it. I know it's not the best spot, but you can shoot through the window, and you can also prone on top of the door. Just be careful though, because you can, like, the door can move sometimes and pretty much kick you off. So as you see here now on the new map, you can just climb up these crates by jumping up. As you see, you can then shoot through the window. You can shoot all across over here as well, and it's a pretty cool, decent spot. I found this today, which I accidentally discovered. You can also mantle up here as well. I don't know if it has any extensions, but as you see, if you just run through the door, no one's going to expect you to be up there. But if you're on this side, obviously you probably can be seen. But I thought to add it in today's video. So we're now on to the next map. If you just make your way to my location here, if you go up the ladders, you want to make sure you have tap to dive on. You pretty much want to run and sprint forward with automatic sprint, and then you pretty much want to tap to dive and then land on this ledge here, and you can then crawl across the whole entire side of this thing here that is building, which is absolutely insane. You can actually also stand up as well, so if you're worried about just proning all the time, but if you like press X in a certain area, you can actually be in a crouched position while walking around, and you can get a pretty decent view in certain areas, and people don't expect you to be up here. So for the next glitch, here's how to get on a really cool ledge on the archway. All you're going to need is a care package for this one. You pretty much want to look down at the floor and throw it exactly how I do. And as you see, once you do place it like this, it should land just on the corner of the container. You want to wait for it to drop. You may have to adjust it with this shotgun here. It helps a lot. Just make sure that the care package doesn't fully settle. And then after, you want to do a tap to dive off the care package and land on this ledge. You get a pretty decent view. You're pretty much on top of the roof pretty much, just next to it. But I would count it as the top of the map, to be honest. As you see, here is a working glitch as well. If you just do a tap to dive over to here, you can then get on the side of this roof as well. And this has been around for quite a while now, when the map first came out, and it still works.
But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, peace out.